From historic Princeton University, this is college hockey on ESPN+. The Princeton Tigers welcome in the four-time defending ECAC champs, the Colgate Raiders. And welcome inside, everybody. Alongside Sean Case, I'm Andrew Luftglass. Not only has Colgate dominated this league the last few years, Sean, they are red hot, winners of their last 10 games, but we've also got two of the highest scoring offenses in the nation doing battle today.
Yeah, you can count on every fan getting their money's worth here. I mean, with this much offense, there's so much to go around. It's going to be a real tough game for the defense to kind of stop these two storms.
Just about everybody can score for Colgate, but especially Kristina Kaltenkova, the all-time goals leader in Colgate program history. She just found out yesterday she's going back to the Czechia national team.
Yeah, I mean, the Tigers have been able to watch Sarah Fillier for years as far as being a big star in ECAC. Kaltenkova's that for Colgate. She is a player that can score from anywhere. Big thing is she wins so many battles along the board. She could drive towards net. She's going to be a tough one for this Tigers defense to watch.
And for the Tigers, Sarah Paul leads the nation in goals per game. 6 of her 8 goals are on the power play.
Yeah, I mean, she just hit a different level this year. I mean, like, she's going to be someone who really has to step up to be that Tigers offensive weapon, and the big one is on that power play. By making teams pay for any time they're taking penalties, they can't cheat. They got to stay with you. So that opens the ice a little bit more for the Tigers. Paul can set up anywhere. She's got a great shot.
And in goal for Colgate, Hannah Murphy, the program's all-time record holder with 16 career shutouts. She had her latest in her last game last Saturday, a 17-save performance against Harvard. Jen Olnowich gets the start between the pipes for the Tigers. Princeton starting with something of a new line. Izzy Wonder, Emerson O'Leary, and Sarah Paul will get the start up front. Maggie Johnson and Gabby Kim on defense. For Colgate, it's Kaltenkova centering Emma Pice, and Alyssa Biederman, Jamie Spring, and Casey Borgil get the start on defense. The number 2 and number 3 scoring offenses in women's college hockey doing battle today in the Garden State. Tigers facing a Colgate team that's coming off of a decisive 8-1 cumulative scoring weekend in a sweep over Harvard and Dartmouth and Princeton. Sean, hoping they're well rested after a weekend off.
Yeah, I mean, you want to make sure you don't get rusty this early in the season. You're trying to get everything going, but, I mean, once they get there, they want to get some shots on the net to see if they get their offense where they want to be.
Sarah Paul trying to stretch one all the way down for Izzy Wonder, just a touch too far for her. She'll chase it down a step ahead of Jamie Spring. Trying to go back to the point for Mackenzie Alexander as the Tigers make a quick change. So this is going to be the second line with Alexander, Jane Keel, and Catherine Kramtsov. Just a small change in the top 6 forward units, with Paul moving up to that first line, Alexander moving down to the second. Alexia Oban, 2-time gold medalist in the U18 tournament with Canada, trying to floss it out of the corner. Picked up by Kramtsov, centering one behind Alexander, who is also on those 2 gold medal winning Canada U18 teams. Kramtsov trying to fire one from the dot, easily turned aside by Hannah Murphy. Murphy in her first year as the lone starter for this Colgate team. She had been splitting the net with Kaylee Osborne the last few years, and of course Osborne now playing alongside former Tiger and first overall draft pick Sarah Fillier with PWHL's New York Sirens, led by the former Colgate head coach Greg Fargo, with Stefan DeCoste now behind the bench for the Raiders. Kaylee Osborne getting the start today in the Sirens scrimmage. Sarah Fillier getting her first preseason point. On the chase, Biederman. Alyssa Biederman, who you'll see play some defense and some forward. Number 8 for Colgate, formerly a winger, has been playing more on the blue line this year. There's Biederman again trying to break out. One-touch pass by Madeline Palumbo. She'll get it back down the wing. Wonder laying the wood as the puck's dumped in deep. Handled by O'Leary, sending it out. Kaltenkova picking it up as the Tigers get a change. Here's Palumbo, and we'll get a whistle at the blue line. Our officials today, Laura White and Amanda Tassoni, the refs. Bree Crowd and Erica Greenan are on the lines. And there's Stefan DeCoste, first year as the head coach for Colgate. 9 years, including 8 as a full-timer, as an assistant under the direction of the aforementioned Greg Fargo. Now the head coach of the New York Sirens. DeCosse out of North Vancouver, British Columbia. And there's some discussion with Stefan right now and our officiating crew that we mentioned a moment ago. Kind of an errant whistle in the neutral zone. There was a line change that looked like it might have gone awry on the Colgate bench. Maybe some question if there's too many players, and that is the call. It's too many player penalty. Kaya Malkino will serve it. So that is a big break for Princeton, who's had a great power play, the best power play in women's college hockey this year.
And you really got to get on your horse against a team like Colgate, of where you get a goal in early, you feel good about yourself, you're not feeling pressured late in the game, especially, like you said, a goaltender that 16 shutouts, you want to get on the board.
Sarah Paul, who leads NCAA hockey with 6 power play goals, 6 of her 8 goals we mentioned in the open, coming with the advantage. Here's Alexander. Goes up top, fired from the point, stopped by Murphy on the initial shot by Rosie Klein. Wonder chipping it along for Alexander on a Tiger power play that was 4 of 7 last time they played 2 weeks ago in their weekend against Harvard and Dartmouth, executing at over a 42% clip, best in the nation. There is Paul. Klein, low shot, squeaks through. Wonder now at the bottom of the circle. Trying to center one, and Angelina DiGirolamo parked in front. She's still there. Paul with a shot through traffic. That one swallowed up by Colton Kova, who goes to her knees to block it.
Huge save to keep that in the zone. I mean, all this time has right now been in Colgate's, and you're going to see a fresh Princeton group come out. And that one passed along the middle, but kept in the zone.
By Catherine Kramsov. Gabby Kim along the sidewall. Walking it away from Emma Pice. Jane Keel goes down low. Kim trying to center one right through the goal mouth, and Colton Kova will one-time that all the way down. Colgate badly needs a change.
Yeah, they were running on a little bit of gas left in there. I mean, they had Tigers had them pinned, got a full change, and that one just an errant pass goes awry, and now Colgate gets some fresh players on there.
2 of the best scoring offenses in the nation because they're 2 of the best power plays in the nation. Princeton number 1. Colgate number 3, and when they get their chance, they have the most power play goals total in college hockey. Here is O'Leary absorbing the check from Biederman, but losing the puck, and that will kill the too many player penalty. Nina Brick working it out of the corner as Malakino heads right to the Colgate bench. Outlet feed attempt by Brooklyn Nimigiers is picked off in the neutral zone, but turned right back over to Emerson O'Leary. She picked the stick of Alexis Petford. 5 minutes into the first period. No score. Tigers getting the early looks at the cage after the too many players penalty, but here comes that high-flying, freewheeling Colgate offense. Very active defense. Petford will fire one over the cage of Olnowich. Alban out of the corner. Sends one up top for Avery Pickering. Her shot through traffic is blocked in front by Rosie Klein and sent out for Pickering to collect again.
You see Petford set up in front of the net there, trying to take away Olnowich's vision. And that's something where Colgate can move in front, give you those flash screens, get a lot of shots in the point. It's where they can pick up some goals.
Alban gets hung up in the corner and then decides to drop Angelina DiGirolamo. Little toe drag there. Alban backhands one on. Stopped initially by Nina Brick in front of Olnowich. Check that. That's Addison Spitz. Spitz will spin it down low for Colton Kova. Christina Colton Kova pinned to the wall by Rosie Klein. Colton Kova muscling her way through. Chip to the opposite corner. Kept moving by Pice. Cycling down low. Spitz met by Nimigiers. Colton Kova in to help. So is Pice. Pice from the dot. Walks it around. Pice with a shot that deflects wide. Mia Cohen providing the pressure at the top of the circle. Colton Kova shoving Cohen into Biederman at the point. And the Tigers get the outlet. And they'll get the dump, but it was behind the red line, and so icing is the call. That was Lucia DiGirolamo just a step behind the red. Kara Mori, the head coach of the Princeton Tigers, now in her 8th year at the helm of this program. She was glad to have that week off, a bye week for the Tigers without games last weekend, get everybody healthy. They had a lot of players in and out of practice last week, various illnesses and injuries, but mostly healthy today, save for a couple of scratches. Uma Cornier, who was in the mix for starting goalie, has been out all year. And Dominique Cormier, one of the starting D, has been out almost all year as well. Palumbo cycles that one down low. Malachino cycles further. Malachino in behind the net. Feeds one in front, and Olowich at the top of her crease shuts down Borgil. Little extracurricular there. Sarah Stewart with the latest shove on Lucia Di Girolamo. That all started because of Borgil's late slash at the goal, and Borgil's being ushered off now. There's a look at the infraction after the whistle, and Borgil's going to the box. The Tigers get another power play.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing what the referees are calling here. We've seen a very physical first so far. We've seen a lot of physical play along the board, some hits here. It's really been the slashing there where you go that extra mile, and you're trying to protect your goaltenders. So Tigers get another chance at power play. I like their first minute and 10 seconds or so of that power play. Here we're going to take another look at it. Oh, here's the extracurriculars there. Seeing a little bad blood of, well, maybe some good wishing of Thanksgiving coming up. But I'm going to say now, Tigers looking to see if they can set up like they did early on their first power play.
Mackenzie Alexander throwing one to the front. Paul with it. Alexander, the freshman, third in the nation in assists per game on a 5-game point streak. She has it in the corner. Chipped along for Angelina Di Girolamo. Wonder back for Alexander. Thrown in front, looking for Di Girolamo, and it's punched wide. Alexander thrown across. Paul walks into one, deflected in front, loose at the side of the net, and swiped to the corner. Alexander was in a dangerous area there. If she could have gotten her twig on it. Nice she collects again. Alexander to open space. Wonder trying to throw one across. Paul with a fire. That one stopped. Alexander throwing one on, and that stopped by Murphy as well. Wheeling second chance by Mackenzie Alexander, and Murphy gets back. She'll recollect her stick as the Tigers have 1 more minute left on the power play.
Yeah, that started with Alexander being able to hold that in on the blue line, grabbing it with her glove, putting it down, and bringing the offense back. A lot of just going right through the crease. Tigers not getting that last touch on it, though.
Jane Keel giving it up. Pulled away by Gabby Kim through neutralized Emerson O'Leary. O'Leary speeding in. Shifts one over to Hannah Fedorov. Fedorov down low for O'Leary in the office. Over to Jane Keel. Keel slides one for O'Leary. 35 seconds to go on the power play. O'Leary fires, and Murphy is there to collect. Tiger power play is buzzing.
Yeah, I mean, what I've liked here so far is you're not seeing them miss a lot of opportunities. They're just shooting it wide. Big thing is they're getting on net. So far with 6 unconfirmed shots on net, but here you see just the cycle down low of where they're able to kind of just try to cause Colgate to back up, and you see them all collapsing on the crease, and then if they're able to get it back to the point, there's no way for Colgate to kind of pressure the point, so you're going to see players like Gabby Kim get that mobility of moving from left to right.
O'Leary wins the draw clean to Keel. Kim pressured at the point, kept alive momentarily, and sent all the way down by Biederman. 1 more rush coming perhaps on this Tiger power play after the slashing minor to Borgil. Kramtsov. Missed connection looking for Keel. Now does find Keel. Spilled to O'Leary. O'Leary across. Score! Taya Gatfield on the power play, and the Tigers have the lead.
I believe that's her first collegiate goal there, too, stepping into the play of just like a tic-tac-toe and just seeing the opportunity of getting that one coming across. Great pass by O'Leary and just putting it back across the grain, it looked there on Murphy. And that's just a great time stepping up. So, yeah, confirmed there, her first collegiate goal.
That was a beautiful connection with O'Leary picking the puck up at the dot, and the Tigers have the lead against the number 5 team in the country, the 4-time defending ECAC tournament champs, and the Red Hot Raiders on a 10-game winning streak.
And you see there, like Colgate, they bunch up a lot, but they really apply pressure. But if you're able to get it out of that pressure and find some open ice, and that's exactly what happened there. Great job, O'Leary, on that look of where, like, she knew that she saw Gatfield coming down the slot, just putting a perfect speed for her.
Tiger power play remains smoking hot. 5 of their last 8. 12 for 28 now on the season. Can't give this Tiger power play 2 chances in the opening 10 minutes of the game, Sean.
No, and the thing is, though, Tigers have to make sure they're not taking the next penalty because tends to get evened up as the game goes along. So for the Tigers' point of view, they can't be giving power play chances back to them. So got to skate. Make sure you skate with your legs, not skating with your sticks, and get taking any unnecessary penalties.
This is a Colgate team that is the most penalized in the ECAC, over 8 penalty minutes per game on average. Wonder ducking the shoulder. Throwing one in front. That's stopped by Murphy. Had the on-rushing Sarah Paul.
Whoop.
And the stick goes flying. Speaking of not taking a penalty, the Tigers are going to take one right now for interference. Laura White's going to make the call. And it's Paul going to the box for throwing his stick in the rafters.
Yeah, I didn't see I didn't see it initially happen. I didn't know if it was a stick that was down that she knocked away. So let's take another look at the replay here. Oh, so she's taking it right out of the hands of that defender. So, those are the kind of unnecessary penalties. You don't want to warm up this Colgate squad because now you got a lot of power coming at you.
That was Sarah Stewart who had her stick jarred loose. Tigers the best power play in the nation. Colgate number 3, and with the most power play goals total of any team in women's hockey this year. Kaltenkova at the side of the net. Worked down low by Lucia DiGirolamo. Sent back up top. Borgil battle in front of the net with Kaltenkova. Working on Gatfield. Fired on, and Olnowicz stops the shot from Borgil. Boy, we have some tussling at the edge of the crease right now, Sean.
And Kaltenkova having a chat with Laura White there about the extra action in front there. I mean, this is where the game could be won on the power play for both sides, is who can get players in front of the net and take away vision. And right there, Gatfield did an excellent job giving Olnowicz all the vision on there, because Kaltenkova coming in, I mean, she comes off as bigger than 5'8" to me, but she goes in there and she could just absolutely just drive goaltenders nuts.
It doesn't look like a 5'8" on 5'7" matchup
No.
in front of the net. Gatfield giving her all she can handle. Kaltenkova and Gatfield still battling in front. Here's Pice. Takes a spill at the dot. Kaltenkova with it again for Brick. Biederman in the skates of Brick. Thrown in front. That's off of Kaltenkova's skate. No goal. And pretty clear. Kaltenkova looks like she's saying her stick was tied up, but it was pretty obvious she had turned her skate blade to direct that into the goal. That's the call on the ice with to go in the first period. And the Tigers nothing. It looks like they may look at that, and Sarah Paul's going to the box. We will take a timeout. Raiders still on the power play. All right, a potential goal under review. There is and you can see the call on the ice as she kicked the puck in and just right skate blade toward the puck. Laura White and Amanda Tassoni are referees today, reviewing this play now. Kaltenkova in a net front battle with Taya Gatfield, who has the Tigers goal on a power play. It's going to have to be pretty conclusive that Kaltenkova doesn't kick it, and it kind of looks like she does clearly there.
Yeah, it's you never want to fully get in the mind of a referee, but whatever, we were just looking there on our replays, that's what the refs are looking at too. Our crew passing along that exactly the angles that they want. But I felt that Laura White was in like the perfect position for that one. Call it, but again, this is one certain nuances that referees can kind of go. Looks like they're off. No, I thought they were taking off the headset there. So
I think right now they're reviewing time on the clock.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The clock is ticking down now on the. You guys can't see it. Our viewers cannot see it on the jumbotron, but they're ticking down the clock. I think right now they are reviewing time on clock to make sure that is accurate.
Oh, it's a good goal.
Wow.
All right.
So Kaltenkova is going to get credit for a power play goal, and that is going to tie the game at 1. The look we saw, it did seem like she angled her skate blade, but maybe it's not a distinct kicking motion, Sean.
Yeah, I guess that's the only thing you'd say, like, if you're angling it.
And her stick is tied up there. That might be part of the calculus.
Yeah.
But that is an elated Colgate bench and a frustrated Tiger bench. Kristina Kaltenkova has career goal number 98 to match her number in her Raider career.
You just see like how big, again, like I mentioned before, of just how big she is in front of net. That, like I felt like Gaffield's doing all she can to kind of keep her off the puck, but still Kaltenkova able to find something to get on that puck to get it in the net.
Her shot blocked by Kim and into the netting. Well, if you're Princeton, you got to flush that right away, right? Because they, for the last few minutes, thought that this was going to stand as no goal. But Kristina Kaltenkova continues what has been a ridiculous career. All-time Colgate leader with 98 career goals now, second in all-time points and assists behind Danielle Serdachny. And just found out yesterday that she is back with Czechia's senior national team. She'll be with Czechia during the Six Nations tournament next month. First appearance with their senior national team since 2021. She had been a staple on their U18 teams. She was in the U18 program since she was 14. O'Leary trying to center one, sent one in behind Izzy Wonder. Here is Pice, chipping one around Kim as Colgate gets a change. Maggie Johnson. Johnson on the flip out, collected by Borgil. Now Kim. Wheeling away from Sarah Stewart. Wonder trying to find it. Kept in neatly by Borgil, the Holy Cross transfer in her first year with Colgate. O'Leary into the corner. Kim unable. Oh no, she did get it out. Hand pass by Borgil. And so the faceoff will come out of the zone. All right, so 2 power play goals. So exactly how you probably would have scripted it with these two teams. Colgate prone to go into the box. The Tigers have the best power play in the nation. Colgate the third best power play in the nation. And also how you'd script it if you're Colgate with Kaltenkova getting the marker for them. Mac Alexander working it in behind. Brooklyn Nimigears. Colgate making it so tough to break out. The Tigers do get a home run pass to Keel. Keel working on Jamie Spring. Alexander trying to cycle back for Keel. Spring picks it off, and here comes Colgate the other way. Shifting it across, Borgil with the chip. Brick speeding in after it. Alexander trying to work it around Petford. Good forecheck by Alexis Petford. Now it's Pickering. Backhand feed, Brick in front, kick save by Olnowicz into a dangerous area, but the Tigers get it clean. Kramsov, and the puck deflects into the Tiger bench. Kramsov trying to fight her way through a check. Princeton and Colgate, in the last few years, it has been all Colgate. All time Princeton with the edge, but Colgate has won the last 4 meetings. Tigers have not won a regular season meeting with Colgate since December of 2019. That also happens to be the last season in which the ECAC tournament champion was not Colgate. In fact, it was Princeton. And an upset win over Cornell that year. Here's Gatfield, the Tiger goal scorer. Trying to send one long for Hannah Fedorov, who was leaving early. Pickering over to Brick. Brick fires, stopped by Olnowicz. She fought that one off over the net. For the chase by Emma Dornsife. Cohen chops at it. Here comes Fedorov. Fedorov in transition. Hannah Fedorov! Oh, stopped by Hannah Murphy, and Fedorov flying to the corner. That's what the Tigers want to do, Sean. Catch Colgate with too many players down low in the offensive zone and transition fast.
Yeah, you've seen it a couple times where the Tigers are trying to get it out, whether they, and they're trying to get behind the defenders, but also at the same time, we've seen the Colgate defenders able to shut it down at the red line and throwing it right back at them. So it's really important for puck placement and trying to make sure that it's not something that the Colgate's able to kind of turn right around, but I love Colgate's pressure thus far.
This is not traditionally the way Kara Mori's teams play, leaving the zone early, but it seems to be the way forward, at least the way that Kara and the Tiger coaching staff feels positions them best to get scoring chances.
Yeah, and it's not something you have to do all the time. Oh, big score.
Turned over, Wonder through the legs and turned aside. Might have hit the side of the net. That would have been a Sports Center top 10. Thrown in front, stopped by Murphy. O'Leary had a second whack at it. Boy, the creativity by Izzy Wonder as that puck goes into the Colgate bench. That was a thing of beauty in a very tight space. Check this out from Izzy Wonder.
Yeah, I don't know this controller combo, what you got to hit for this one, but she's out of real estate, and she might have got that shot off if that one's not poked away by the defender there at the last second. I mean, that was again, creative aspect of the offense that Wonder brings.
Casey Borgil making the play. She's been very active defensively for a Colgate team that, by the way, is pretty thin at the back. They only have 5 defenders listed on their line chart. One of those, Alyssa Biederman, who sometimes plays wing. Sarah Paul running right through Madeline Palumbo.
And by that you mean in sheer numbers, because the 4 they do have, or 4 or 5 they run, are very solid.
Quantitative,
yes, exactly. So want to make sure we get that right. And they do have a lot of skill back there, but it is something where if you have them running on 4 and you continue getting it deep and force them to go 200 feet, that's the thing that could get tired legs by the third period.
The other aspect of this is stylistically, because Colgate has such a free-flowing style of play in the offensive zone. It doesn't really matter what your stated position is. Everybody's getting involved in some way, shape, or form, and the onus is on you positionally to get back defensively in a transition situation.
And we do see Colton Kova play, defense in the penalty kill and whatnot. They do make adjustments throughout the game.
Centering pass by Alexander is turned away. Up the ice comes Petford. Turned away by Kramsov. Offside is the call. Step ahead of the play.
It's been an interesting flow of this game so far. Tigers obviously held it for that first couple of minutes with the 2 power plays, 1 power play goal. They were up 7-2 at one point in the shots. Then you see you have Colgate. They have their opportunity in the power play. They get their goal. So it's been nice back and forth. You're not really seeing a lot of big mistakes overall costing teams, because realistically, these are 2 teams, if you make the slightest mistake, they can make you pay for it.
Now through neutral ice, Pickering sending it down low. Worked free to Kim and picked up by Maggie Johnson. Kramsov goes cross ice looking for Jane Keel, picked off by Pice. Colton Kova goes in after Johnson, with Colgate making a change. Colton Kova working Johnson off the puck. Centering feed, and the one-timer blocked by Gabby Kim's left hand. Now it's Colton Kova on the backhand. Puck protect, hand off. Thrown in front. Madeline Palumbo looking for Malachino at the side of the net. Tigers still can't get it out. DiGirolamo. It is Lucia DiGirolamo to get it free to center ice.
Got to get it out for Gabby Kim there. I don't know how her hand's doing on that one, but she definitely took that shot. It looks like she's going to take that one off, put a little ice on that.
Boy, she really took that from close range.
Yeah, that was a point-blank shot to block, and that came off a great Colton Kova forecheck, of where that was one where Tigers had possession, looked like they could get it out, and Colton Kova just coming in there. She's one of the bigger ones out there, but when those defenders hear footsteps, she could bring the physicality and the speed.
I believe I said Kim blocked that with her left hand, but she did take off her right glove, so not 100% clear, but it looks like it could have been the right. Wonder trying to slip one through. Dangerous in transition. Here is Malachino, taken down by Klein. No whistle, and a big back check by Rosie Klein to negate a breakaway.
I don't think she heard the footsteps there coming in of Klein. And you see her just close in, and this is a perfect use of stick. It's not a slash. She gets her stick in there and just causes enough of a problem. And you also saw on that flip side there, Olnowich came out really, really high, so she didn't give away much net and slowly backed into the net. So that kind of combo there took away that scoring chance.
Freshman out of Chicago, former Illinois Player of the Year, who Karamori wanted to work on her strength in the offseason. She muscled Malachino off of that puck. Momentous defensive play at the tail end of this first period. Now Brick sliding one across, and that pass blocked by Emma Dornsife. Wonder, she's 1-on-4, trying to slip past Pickering. Has it in the corner, cycling one down low. O'Leary on the chase. Paul is there to get her stick on it. Kept alive momentarily. Brick will shift it out off the glass. Dornsife for Wonder. Between her legs, gets the dump and change. Long outlet feed, looking for Palumbo. Too hot for her to handle. Goes barreling into the corner with Kim. Pice is in there with Jane Keel as well. Colton Kova to the point. Sent down low by Borgil. Palumbo battling. Pice is out in front. Sent down low by Spring. There's Colton Kova again. 98 career goals, the most of any Raider all time, including one that got turned over on review. Here's Kramtsov. Initially ruled that Colton Kova had kicked the puck in the goal on the power play, and then that call on the ice was turned over. Good goal for Colton Kova's 13th of the year, numbered 98 on her career, and a 1-1 tie. That's where we stand. Taya Gatfield with the marker for the Tigers on the power play. Klein. Angelina DiGirolamo. And on the breakout, Borgil. Slid across for Spring. Colton Kova to calm things down. Through neutral ice, Petford. Petford down the wing, under a minute to go. Petford ducks the shoulder, throws one on with one hand. Klein again, good defense on the angle. Aubin. Angelina DiGirolamo muscles her off the puck. Fedorov in there with Brick. Brick works it free. Off of Cohen's stick, shipped over to Brick. Top of the circle, Aubin gets a shoulder from Fedorov and back out to center. One-time shot, fought off by Olowich, uncomfortably so with the blocker. Now Brick, tail end of the first period. Colgate looking for the go-ahead goal. No penalty. Here's Angelina DiGirolamo. She's got Sarah Paul. Fed across. Paul turned away by Murphy on the 2-on-1. Golden chance for Princeton in transition at the end of the first period. And yet, we're through 20 with a 1-1 tie. Maybe the best chance the Tigers have had, even strength. Angelina to Sarah Paul. Murphy slams the door, and it's 1-1 after one from Princeton.